Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Colleville, and in this one I'm going to be playing with Betts, Val and Sven Hassel's Commander on my team. So I'm going to be using the Guards Armoured alongside Betts and Val, and then we have Sven who's going to be using the 3rd Armoured. Sven was a random on our team, so didn't know what was going to happen there. On the Axis side of things we have Kaliyama with the 12th SS Panzer, Seppa with the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, Zinski with the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier, and Dominic with the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier as well. So I really like this map. This is obviously the 4 vs 4 version of the Colleville map, and usually you would play this like this direction, but you don't have like the massive parts either side. So on the 2v2 version it's really slim, and you fight, you know, north to south or whatever way it's orientated. And on the 4v4 version you get all this extra stuff on either side, which is really cool, and it's an actually massive map which allows you for like more open sort of tank fighting, I guess, and different strategies, as opposed to on the normal Colleville map where it is purely focused on these towns. So it's a very sort of diverse strategy map, allows people to go wherever they like. So that's really good, awesome. Let's put it to my point of view, and we'll talk about the sort of units I'm putting down, where I'm going. From this, it's pretty obvious that I'm going to be hitting the left town. I am using the Guards Armoured, so an armoured division going for a town isn't always the best idea, but you can make it work a lot of the time if you use your armoured support effectively. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do in this game. Over on the left side, Val's going to be taking that, just basically covering the left side of my town, and then we're going to have Sven sort of covering the middle. He's also going to be pushing into the town, and then over on the right side we have Betts, who's going to be covering the right of that town. So let's have a look at some of the units I'm starting off with. I've got the Vickers HMG. I've got 2 units of rifles there with a command motorized rifle leader. And I've got the Cromwell 6 over on the right side. I've got the Humber Mark III with some recon. Over on the left, some more recon in the Humber Mark IIIs. And I've really started to use the Humber Mark IIIs again, because with that 3 AP power back on them, it basically allows them to kill enemy half-tracks quite easily. So they're just great for like fast moving up the road, get right next to like an MG half-track and just blow it up. Like, they just do that so effectively, and that's what I used to use them for, but then they took it off and now it's back, so I can do it again. So that's great. So here we are, we're off. Let me select my troops and I'll show you where I'm going. You can see a lot of it's quite spread out actually. You've got the AT gun dropping off in this tree line alongside the M5 half-track here that's going to be heading all the way up to this area, because I can see the front line pushing quite hard. So that means I can adjust my orders forward a bit because my opponent's being quite slow. So I'm literally just going to be unloading the recon and the motorized rifles as far up as I can. Meanwhile in the town I could probably do the same, but what's happening here is my Cromwell's going to be fast moving up to the bottom side of the town, and all the infantry is just going to be spreading out into all the buildings on my side. Then we have this unit just going up on Val's side of things to give him some extra rifles as support. So as you can see, my Bedfords are coming up to their positions, but I haven't come across any like forces yet, so I'm just going to be able to continue to move forwards there. I've got a Firefly and a Panzer II on my flank, so I've got to be a bit careful with this Humber Mark III. I put a ping down to Sven not to bunch his units, because like a Fallschirmjäger, if they got like a rocket into one of their half-tracks, they could make like all of them surrender very quickly, so he's got to be a little bit careful about that. Same with the Firefly. If the Firefly gets a shot onto like the M5A1 or the M8 Scott and blows them up, then it will affect the morale of the units around them, and that's what causes like these mass sort of surrenders. So just telling him to be careful there. Having the half-tracks together is fine, just keep the M8 Scott and the M5 separate, which is exactly what he's doing. And his armoured rifles are pinned down at the moment. He's just got to make sure that he doesn't let them get surrendered. He does have the armoured leader here stopping that from happening at the moment, so that's good. So the Beuter Firefly is coming down the left side, supported by the Panzer II. He's going for the flank onto the M5A1. This is really risky though, because he doesn't know if there's anything here. So I'm going to be forced to bring in a couple of AT guns, just to try and get rid of this Firefly and the Panzer II. In the town I'm still moving forwards. You can see I've got the motorized rifles here. Managed to get them all the way up into the side of the town. These were the motorized rifles that actually came up through the middle here. And I basically fast moved them up, put them in this church briefly, but spotted some Panzer Grenadiers. Motorized rifles don't really fend very well against Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers very good. So yeah, motorized rifles just staying safe there. They have the Piat that I can use to kill some of these half-tracks, so that's what I was planning to do. Moving up my Cromwell up the street. Never be scared to use tanks in towns, guys, because unless there's like Panzer Grenadiers, they need to be within 150 meters with the Panzerfaust. Just look at what you're up against in terms of like AT weapons and see how much you can get away with and play around that. So here I'm actually bringing my Cromwell 6 very close to the Panzer Grenadiers. He could try and jump them forwards, but if he did, they would get pinned down instantly on the street. So he's pretty much got no chance of making that happen. So Cromwell's just going to be starting to fire at these half-tracks and pin those down. In the town, things aren't going great. Sven's been pushed back really hard here. He lost his M8 Scott, he lost his M5, and this Beuter Firefly is pushing him really damn hard. I'm bringing up some M5 half-tracks here. These guys have motorized rifles in with the Piat, so maybe we can get Piat shot. If not, I've got the AT guns coming up, and these will be 1-star thanks to the Command Cromwell here of Val. So I'm going to be dropping them off in radius of Val's Command Cromwell, and here we go. 1 shot, 1 kill. Lovely jubbly. I would have had a second shot there from the 6-pounder further up, so it was likely I was going to get that kill. It was just lucky that the first one actually did the job. But there's an L6 here as well. I'm just trying to get the motorized rifles up so I can get the Piat on target, but he's going to be reversing that. In the town on the left side, Humber Mark III is going to be helping destroy the spear troop. We've managed to get rid of the 222 thanks to the Piat squad there. And my Cromwell, I think, also took out another half-track, but it's forcing a lot of stuff back anyway. Cromwell 6 is still providing good fire support, getting the Vickers HMG into the tower there of the church so that we can use that to cover the rest of the town. And I'm going to make sure that I continue my motorized rifle leader so it gives a veterancy to my units. So there goes the Vickers HMG, going to be hitting the Panzer Grenadiers on the road. That's absolutely fine. Over on the left side, just rifle sitting there. Got my recon hanging about. This recon spotting the half-track trying to come in at my flank. Panzer L6 does pick off my Humber Mark III that was pushing forwards and creating a massive gap in the opposing lines. Sorry. And we're currently at a 54% lead, mainly because of this. We got a big old breach through the sort of left centre of the map. My opponent was very slow to push into this town, so it gave me so much ground here, and I'm using that as like a springboard to just keep moving forwards. And this Cromwell 6, for example, you know, it's just going to keep moving up, keep providing more fire support. We've got a Panzer II coming in, but that's no problem. All that Panzer II is going to do is just force me to react to it with my half-track, so just make sure that my half-tracks are still able to fire but not in line of sight of the Panzer II, because I don't want to be losing half-tracks for free. That Panzer II though might be a little bit of an issue. You can see there a half-track going down to one of the Panzer IIs because I didn't move it enough and it was just about in line of sight. But that Panzer II is still going to be damaging my infantry quite a lot, especially the machine gun in the church. It should be okay. Just got to wait until we get some more reinforcements into the town. So a big battle just continuing here with the Panzer Grenadiers being taken on by the Cromwell 6 and the M5 half-track. I don't want the Panzer II to get next to the Cromwell 6 because what will happen is at that range, the Panzer II has AP value, so the Cromwell 6 is going to die. Panzer II kills off the Humber Mark III. Rifles are trying to get forward. I'm trying to get the motorized rifles into range of the Panzer II here so that it can use its Piat. We'll see them have a go. And they miss, of course. They are Piats after all. On this right side, my motorized rifles are holding on against the Fallschirmjägers and Panzer Grenadiers in that town. Half-track still providing fire support, and well, I did lose one of my left 6 pounders here, but it did the job, killing off the howitzer. Over on the left side, this 3-star Stug, the bane of any player against the 17th SS Panzergrenadier, is really doing a number on Val. So I brought up a 25 pounder, which was like the only AP value unit that I had left. So I'm going to be using that to take on the Stug there. In the town though, I'm still continuing forwards with my M5 half-tracks and the Command Cromwell here. Command Cromwell's been brought up to deal with the Boiter Cromwell that's just arrived. I've also got a lot of half-tracks to deal with alongside the Panzer II there, and I think we eventually took out the Panzer II. Oh, never mind, it's still there. Haven't taken it out yet. But yeah, that Boiter Firefly, not in the right position, especially with me actually bringing up a normal Cromwell. Over here, 25 pounder, manages to take out the Stug, and that was a very, very lucky shot. This has 5 ammunition, AP value ammunition, and it has no veterancy. It managed to hit on the 3rd round into the Stug. It was within its normal range of the 2,400 meters, obviously. Not entirely sure how far it can fire the 5 AP direct fire at a unit, but either way, manages to get the kill there. So some Volksjägers being taken out there by my M5 half-track. Motorized rifles did die in the town. I've still got 1 unit left. On the left side here, things are slowed down a little. Take out the Panzer II, or force it back for now. Make another unit of Volksjägers surrender, thanks to Betts' motorized rifles from the right side. So the Panzer II is coming up, and that's going to be killed off by the Cromwell. My motorized rifles and rifles are pushing up further. Cromwell 6 is still engaging this infantry. That's a Panzergrenadier. So if we can get rid of that, that would be great. And they're going to be dying very, very quickly, especially when the half-track fire support arrives. So we've made good ground in the town, supporting the left still, bringing up a Humber Mark III, getting the recon out on this left side. Then I can continue to push with these machine guns. The machine guns are literally here to occupy the bunkers, so that we can get a bit of a defense going on this left side and push for the +2. So motorized rifles there, not in the best spot. Going to be taken out nice and easy, but I'm leaving it now to Val, Bet and Sven to hold this town. We've all contributed to the defense of this town because originally it was pushed by 2 players on the opposing side. So we all reacted to that, we pushed them back, and now it's just up to Sven to really like control this. Betts is bringing over his half-tracks as well, just to help out. I'm actually going to be bringing up loads of rifles now as well. This is because it just went into Phase B. So rifles are just great defensive troops. Will hold their ground for a long time against these Volksjägers. So that's all I need there. Same on my side. I do need a few more units of infantry soon, so I'll be bringing them up alongside the 17 pounder that's already on its way. So this is 17 pounder, that's just going to be sat in the town. Sorry about the camera there, don't know what it was doing. But yeah, that's just going to be sitting on the road, making sure that anything that comes up from this defense beacon is taken care of. And the reason there's a defense beacon there was because we spotted a Panther earlier on, so I'm a bit worried about that. However, Cromwell's in a decent position. Motorized rifles do have Pierts, so we can always try and rely on those, although that's probably not the best idea. Gotta be a bit careful of this Panzergrenadier here. The driver gets knocked out of the Cromwell and then it gets bailed out, unfortunately, by the Panther. So I am going to be losing that Command Cromwell. Panzergrenadier is very close and kill it off with the Panzerfaust. That wasn't the best spot. I should have left it behind these trees so that I could have ambushed the Panther if it came up. There was not much point in moving it out there and letting it get shot at. On the left side of things, we've got Ju-87 taking out my Lloyd carrier that was carrying the Vickers HMG. Got my recon squad here, just chilling in the trees. Humber Mark III is going to start to push up with the Vickers HMGs, and I've got the 25-pounder slowly moving up. My rifles have arrived. These guys are still in their trucks because I just wasn't really paying attention to that side of the map at that point. And now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get this M5 half-track, I put it on return fire, and I'm just going to move it over to the right side so we continue to push forwards the front line here and maintain this +2. Yes. 6-pounders just chilling on this road. That's just to stop any more units from coming down and flanking. You can see it's already taken out a half-track and the L6 there. 6-pounder was doing a good job. The Bedford truck coming up with a 17-pounder. The Panther D is coming. There is the 231 as well. So I'm just going to try and get this into a position between the houses whereby if it takes a shot, it gets the kill every time.
Ready, sir.
So it's going to be hiding in the bush there. We're going to be pushed on by more infantry. Still got the Cromwell 6 to help out, which is nice. The 17-pounder is going to be going to take the shot onto the 231 and does manage to get the kill. If I hadn't have got that kill, it's actually quite likely that my AT gun would have died. So that was very, very lucky that I managed to get that first shot. MU-109 coming in with the rockets as well. Takes it down to 2 health, which is not ideal. My infantry is now coming in to reinforce since I am very low. Still got these 2 motorized rifles alive, but more rifles doesn't hurt. You can see I'm now adjusting my rifles on the right side. They are literally just going to remain defensive here. Get my M5 half-track to move across and help out with the Pioneers. It's a 2-star half-track, so it should do a decent job. These motorized rifles get taken out by a grenade, but I've got more rifles arriving, so we're okay. 17-pounder is falling back because I didn't want them to burn to death. That Bedford's going to get hit by the Panther D. And what I'm basically trying to do is get the Bedfords to like rush forward so that I can occupy these houses again. So losing 1 rifle squad there to me wasn't an issue. The 17-pounder is going to get taken out by the flames near that building. These rifles are busy destroying some Panzer Grenadiers, and now we're going to be engaging some Pioneers. The Cromwell's still very much alive, and even though there's a Panther right here, I can still use it amongst the buildings to take on infantry, which is great. And you see over the map at the moment, unfortunately on the left side, Ju-87 kills off the Humber and does kill off a Crusader as well. Tempest comes in, however, and takes out the Ju-87. In the town, still a fight between Sturm Pioneer and the Fallschirmjäger there. Betts' Cromwell 6 taking out an AT gun. Another plane coming in. All our Tempests though hanging around on the left side of the map at the moment. So taking out a half-track there thanks to the Cromwell 6. This Panzer Grenadier is in the way, so just going to be pushing forwards best I can with the rifles, but Pioneer is going to be stopping that advance. And here comes a second 17-pounder to deal with the Panthers. So you lose a unit of rifles there, to be expected if they're out on the road, honestly. This Cromwell is coming in to get shots onto the Pioneers. Got to be careful of the Panzer Grenadiers though, so I'm going to be reversing away from that. And well, I'm fortunate enough for them to miss. And then I'm able to stop the Cromwell out of range and continue to fire support from there. 17-pounders in position. Bedford trucks coming up with more rifles. I unload 1, I go for the second one, trying to get up to this bunker. That's what I'm trying to do. The Panther D takes ages to aim, but it does get the MG on target just enough to actually force my rifles to unload, and therefore they're going to get absolutely wrecked. It was a shame that the MG got on target there, but because if it hadn't, then I would have been in a pretty decent spot. Betts' Spitfires coming in onto the back of the ME-109 there, going to be taking that out. HS-129 coming into the centre. And I think that was supposed to go on to the shot onto my Cromwell 6 here, or possibly even to my half tracks, but didn't hit either. Just ended up flying over. Tempest going to be trying to get on the back of this ME-109 after Betts' Spitfires were shot down. This Tempest going to be coming in to stop this HS-129 killing off the Jumbo. Managed to get back on the back of it there, and goodbye to the HS-129. ME-109 coming in as well. My Tempest was flying over to take out this ME-109 and gets an ME-109 on its tail and does get shot down, and the long duel begins between my Tempest and the ME-109. 17 pounders having a go at this 231. Constantly missing at the moment. As long as that 231 isn't in range though, I am absolutely fine. 231 does go down. Now I've just got to take care of the Panther D. One shot, one kill. Lovely. That works. On the left side, just remaining defensive now. Just leaving the 25 pounder here. Vickers HMG with the recce, and that's just going to be that left side secured for the rest of the game. Val's making a push here with his fire support. He's got the two Stuarts with the Crusader AA there pushing on through his enemies. I'm using the 17 pounder to just finish off all of these units, and my rifles are still just holding in this town on the right. So I was just focusing the majority of my efforts in pushing through where I'd already made ground throughout this game, rather than you know, trying to push where we'd already failed, you know. So in this town, for example, where we all threw like a few of our units in, it worked enough to just help defend that and stop them from breaking through. But elsewhere on the map, I basically focus on pushing hard, and we're at a +3 at the moment. This 17 pound is moving over to the right side to get shots onto these half tracks, and at this range, the 17 pound is actually very accurate anyway because it's within 600 meters. The range of the gun is 12,000 meters, 1,200 meters, sorry. So, yeah, it's done a good job so far. Pioneers here with the rifles. Rifles should win when there is this many of them. So just waiting for that number to fall. The lethality of rifles is not very high, so it will take a little while. But there is plenty of them for them not to be pinned down, and as soon as those pioneers are dead, that allows me to move up the rifles and try and occupy some of these buildings. Continue to make ground. Currently running 2,000 points, so very much in the lead. I've got a Sherman 5 coming up to support, 17 pounders firing at things coming down the road, and it's just missed a shot onto this Panther. Bounces a second shot. I'm looking for the kill shot, and there it is. 17 pounder taking out a second Panther D. There's now a Marder 3 coming up. We've also got the recon vehicle, the 231, that's going to bump into my 17 pounder. You can see that it's going to be forced to fall back after the second shot if it's not killed, but goes down anyway. So now we see the ME-109 coming over the AA here. Does get shot down. 17 pounder going for the shot onto the Marder 3, and goodbye to that as well. So this 17 pounder paying itself off multiple times over. German 5 now coming up for the close range fire support, similar to the Cromwell 6. As I continue to move forwards, my rifle is just take as much ground as possible on 73%. Bau's done a fantastic job on my left flank, getting all the way through to these Nebelwerfers in the backside town. You can see that the front is just completely opening up. Meanwhile, this hard point is still contested. Seppel with his 3rd Volksjäger was fighting hard. He was assisted by Kaliyama at the start of the game, which is why it was so difficult to deal with. But, I mean, now Sven Hassel, with all of his armoured units, is just pushing so hard onto the 3rd Volksjägers that eventually they will get shot down. Eventually they will get killed. And on the right side, well, Betts is at their spawn, so he's done a fantastic job there as well. That's pretty much game over now. The +3 in our favour, just waiting for the 2,500 points tick. But yeah, both land spawns occupied on the far right. Betts is moving across with like a contingent of Cromwells, which is really awesome. Got 2 Cromwell 5s, he's got the command Cromwell 4 and the Cromwell 6 there. So a small contingent of Cromwells going from land spawn to land spawn. And, well, after 22 minutes and 27 seconds, we are victorious. So there you have it. Let's go over to the team scores, where you can see that I did actually a rather good job. 2,395 kills to 980 losses. Betts did well as well. 1,260 kills to 820 losses. Managed to break the right flank quite hard. I think a lot of the opponents were sort of double teaming specific areas on the map. Seppa did a fantastic job with his 3rd Fallschirmjäger. He was killing off a lot of Sven Hassel's units. So that's what we were like trying to throw units in to help defend. And yeah, in general, like, Val actually had a negative KD and Sven did as well. So it was quite odd because, I mean, myself and Seppa had nice kill death ratios, and then the other ones were like very varied. So it didn't really make sense in terms of the total outcome of the battle, because basically we controlled the majority of the map by the end, right? But yeah, it was very odd. It was a very mixed skill group, I guess, and it showed throughout the game. If we go over to the kills, you can see that some motorized rifles there took out the 222 and a couple of infantry squads. The 6-pounder took out the Beuter Firefly, so that's a lovely kill. Command Cromwell took out the Beuter Cromwell. That pretty much disables the 12th SS Panzer for the Phase A, because as soon as you take out the Beuter Cromwell and the Beuter Firefly for the 12th SS Panzer, they are really, really hard to use, because you just don't have the units that other sort of decks inherently have. Panzer II also going down there, and then we had the 17-pounder, the glorious 17-pounder that took out the 2 Panther Ds, took out 2 231s, the Marder 3, the 258, and a half-track there. Really great job by that 17-pounder. The Tempest taking out the Ju-87 and the HS-129s. That's pretty much it. Infantry just trading. The 17-pounder only got the 231 kill before it died, and this 25-pounder taking out the Stug 3 as well. That was a glorious kill. There you have it. That's all for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.